Hey everybody, it's Shiny here, and we're in the cockpit of an F-14A, and this is on a training practice mission called the CTTR. This is Cypress Test and Training Range, which is a mission I made for one of our Danger Close servers. So basically it's just a mission where you can kind of come in and practice and screw around and do whatever you need to do. Whether that's, helicopter practice or, bombing practice. There's a lot of cold and hot ranges. There's plenty of tankers for refueling, and there's a dogfight range. Pretty much anything you want to do. But right now, I thought we'd go up and get some gas from the S-3, which is overhead the boat area here, the recovery tanker, right? We'll just do a quick refuel practice. And we're flying Dakota 205 today. So a Ghost Rider's skin. This one was the one by Reflected, which is always nice. Hop back in the plane. And let's make sure the data link is on. And let's go ahead and set the TACAN to the tanker. And we're going to set the
Roger that.
radio to the tanker as well. And we're going to taxi out to cat number 2. Kneeling, get the wings open. See, the tanker is behind us right now. Run the engines up. Control wipe out. Salute.
Showing nails, 4 o'clock.
And we're going to continue with a right-hand turn on our way to the tanker.
Looks like nails, 3 o'clock.
There he is, there he is, there he is. Okay. So we're just going to continue a slightly climbing right-hand turn. Now we should fall in behind the tanker.
I've got dirt, 6 o'clock. Target, 4 miles. That's a friendly. I got dirt at 1 o'clock.
And the tanker's going to be at 270 knots, I think.
Heads up, nails, 6 o'clock. Target, 2 miles. Target, 1 mile. Roger that.
So once we rejoin on the tanker, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my seat, because that's my preferred method of refueling in the Tomcat. I like to raise my seat all the way up. It gives me a better, just a better perspective, a better feeling of the relative motion, especially since I'm not in VR, I'm in track IR. I think that looking through the front windscreen just gives too much of a 2D effect, and I don't feel it as much. It can't be as natural. When I raise the seat up as far as it goes, of course that's not technically a realistic view you would have in the plane, but it does compensate for the fact that I'm not in VR, and I want to get a better feeling. I want to be able to kind of feel the motion more naturally, and I find that that really helps me. So we'll do that. We'll raise the seat first, and then we will put out the probe and put in some left rudder trim to compensate for the drag of the probe, and then we'll start trying to move in behind the tanker. Raise up that seat, crank it all the way up, put a couple of phone books under me that I'm setting on there. Alright, and now that we have the seat up, I'm going to put the probe out, and I'm going to be careful to add a little power to compensate for the drag that I'm getting from the probe as soon as I put it out. Because it's really easy to start slipping back when you put the probe out if you don't, if you're not really ready for it and don't add some power. So I think I have myself trimmed out halfway decent, but we'll see. We're going to slide over here behind our tanker. He's just tightened up his turn a little bit.
Ready for contact.
Okay, and here comes the baskets coming out.
Little right. Hey, I got dirt at 7 o'clock. And, nails, 10 o'clock. Little right. A piece of cake, man. You got this. Whoops, you almost had it. Little right. We're taking fuel. Fuel 15,000. Fuel 16,000. Fuel 17,000. Fuel 18,500. Transfer complete.
Slipped out. See if we can get ourselves reconnected here.
Nice, that's gonna quench her thirst. All right, we're full and we're good to go again. Friendly, E2, 12 o'clock high, 4 miles. Nice, we're taking fuel. I've got some dirt, 12 o'clock. And nails, 4 o'clock. Transfer complete.
All right, we got that transfer complete. If you notice here, like what becomes a little hard right there when you're at that, at least especially for me, when you're right there at about 17,000 pounds,
Wait, scratch
right
that.
there at the end.
52 miles.
You know, when your
21.
weight balance starts to change a little bit, and you need to be really quick to compensate with the trim. Because where you're trimmed out good and it's good for a while, there are several thousand pounds. I find that like right when I get to about 17,500, 18,000 right there at the end, you know, you start to get a little nose heavy, and if you're not quick to compensate and dial in, you know, a little bit more up trim, you know, your nose starts to do that dip, and then it's really easy to get disconnected, especially with the Viking, you know, because the Viking has a really short hose, so it's really easy to get disconnected at that point if you're not quick on the trim. And that time, you know, I fell out of the basket, but you know, we came back and we reconnected, and it was all good. And also when I was, you know, first connecting the first time, I really tried. You know, I didn't rush it, and I recommend, like, you don't have to rush in, you know, because I'd like to make, you know, one good connection if I can. You know, I don't want to rush things. So just, you know, get yourself set, try to get your trim right, and try to push in when you're ready and not rush it, you know. But I was still, you know, working out that rudder trim a little there at the end when I first connected. Trying to see exactly where I wanted it, compensating for the probe that was out there on the right side. And of course, if I had like a lantern pod on one side or an uneven load, you know, that would also be an issue, and then you'd probably have to, you know, how you do the rudder trim would be a little differently, a little more, a little less, depending on things. But anyway, that was a fun little refuel.